What's going on, everyone? This is Mitch with SC Weather. Hope y'all been having a great Wednesday. Some major changes definitely have occurred today. It looks like there is the chance for a significant severe weather outbreak here in the next couple of days. Talking about Friday at around early to mid-afternoon today, the Storm Prediction Center dropped an enhanced risk with an update for their afternoon update for day 3, which is Friday into Friday night, into the overnight hours of Friday into Saturday. So it looks like some confidence is coming in as we're having short-range models that are coming into range like the NAM. We're starting to get to the tail end of some of the short-range updates with the HRRR model. And guys, this looks like a big-time event potentially unfolding. I'm not here to compare it to the last 2 events or anything like that, but there is definitely if you live in the Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, even Alabama, same kind of areas, but a little bit more west, a little bit. We'll see how this trends. We definitely need to prepare for severe weather here in the next few days, especially Friday and the Saturday. And this could linger going into the Carolinas. Carolinas, you're now out in the woods. Definitely could be an active weekend. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to break down what we know because we're starting to know a good bit. If you guys have not subscribed, definitely consider subscribing to my channel. I talk major weather events here on the eastern U.S. I definitely talk a lot on the southeast. Like the video, please, if you do like it. I know my setup isn't quite as appealing as maybe other people's, but I definitely plan on getting it better. And I'm also a storm chaser, and I actually high chance I plan on storm chasing this event Saturday, moving out west from my location here in Columbia, South Carolina. So tag along because we'll have some videos of some storm videos, whatever that might be. But definitely like the video, subscribe guys if you haven't, and thank y'all for the incredible support. So let's get going here. And this is what I'm talking about. The Storm Prediction Center has dropped an enhanced risk at day 3. So this is Friday into Saturday, and an enhanced risk is a level 3 out of 5, and you're at day 3. So, well, it's pretty much kind of day 2 into day 3 now. But so it has a good bit of time in the grand scheme of things to really trend higher, and I really think that we'll get a small area of a moderate threat, which is a level 4 out of 5. I don't see anything being a high threat, and really this looks to be a big time hail producing event as you have some steep lapse rates that are really favorable for some large hail. Maybe upwards to baseball size hail. We just don't know. There's also going to be a dry line that sets up around the Dallas area, and we're going to show all that. It's a unique setup, but you have an enhanced risk in a pretty decently large area at day 3. But the slight risk is what I see, and it's a very large area, and it has a chance to get bigger, has a chance to go up, and the whole breakdown of this is down here. But this is a big deal. So probability of severe weather is a 30% chance hatched right here in Jackson, the Middle Tennessee area, and northeast Louisiana. But this is going to widen out, if you will. Chances of someone seeing. Basically, the chances are going to go up for a larger area. But here we go. We got the NAM, and the NAM is in range for the 3 km NAM, so it goes out to 60 hours. So we're getting into the overnight hours tomorrow. And check out how the storms get going right here. And we have to watch this. This could really turn into like a squall line kind of setup here. But a dry line sets up right around here. A dry line is basically a massive, not massive, wrong word, opposite word. It's a very sharp gradient of a massive difference in dew points. So dew points is basically measures the content of moisture in the air. So on one side, on the west side of this dry line, you have super dry air, dew points in the 20s and 30s, teens. On one other side, you have pretty high level feed of moisture, so dew points in the 60s, even pushing 70. And it's a very sharp gradient. I've never experienced a dry line, but I would love to just be along one and play around with it, and get a meter out there and really see how quickly the dew points drop depending on where you are. But sometimes you can visibly see it in the sky as you have cloud development along, basically in the upper atmosphere. You can visibly see the dry line and where it's exploding convection. So here we go. So the NAM. It's in long range. We're not an HRRR range model. We will tomorrow, and we'll know a lot tomorrow. But a lot of convection firing up here. And check out this line that gets going. This looks like a massive a convective system right here. almost like a squall line. I'm not going to say derecho or anything like that, but this is an intense line of storms that gets going here as the cold front starts getting pushed here that may really develop in Arkansas. It could potentially go all the way to the panhandle of Florida. Actually, there's a 15% chance of severe weather hatched at day 4 that I haven't mentioned, but I think it's because of this, because it's going to move southeast all the way to the panhandle of Florida and areas of southern Georgia. So this is an area we have to watch. We get a little bit further east, and you see what we're talking about. We're getting into Friday afternoon here, and it doesn't look like anything crazy. You have some convection firing up here, but this is the long range NAM. It's not super in depth. I mean, it is, but it's not going to have a really good idea. It's not going to really start breaking this down for us until we can get into the HRRR model. But we're in NAM range, so we're going to look at this. But any of this right here can produce large hail. The soundings in this area, there's basically a big time temperature drop in the upper atmosphere. It creates steep lapse rate. So basically, you can get large hail. And these kind of setups, especially in any kind of supercell development that forms here. But I really think as we get into the HRRR range here, we're going to see more development right here. I know you're thinking, well, there's an enhanced risk right here. Where's all the storms? But trust me, anything that develops has a chance to really produce some nasty weather. But look as we get all the way to the end here. Look at this nasty line of storms coming. This is a storm line that can go all the way down here. And that's why there's a 15% chance of severe weather Saturday, and kind of in this range right here that's going to go up. It's basically 15% chance. It's a slight risk at day 4, which is pretty significant. So we have to watch this part. So we look at this. We look at Cape. This is huge. Look how much convective energy is available here. Watch this. This is by far the most, basically the most Cape I've seen of any storm system this year. You get up to 4,000 to 4,500 joules per kilogram. Sometimes the NAM tends to overdo Cape, but it's definitely there. I mean, that is why there's enhanced risk right here. Cape builds as you get into the early afternoon hours into the Louisiana, Mississippi area. Look at this Cape. I mean, you're going to feel it in the air in this area Friday afternoon. I mean, there's even Cape building here in the Carolinas. There's actually a chance of storms even here in the Carolinas Friday that I haven't really mentioned much, but there's a chance that these can produce large hail also. But look at the Cape that builds here. And then here comes the storms, and look at the sharp cutoff and Cape. It's because basically the squall line symbolizes the cold front. Behind the squall line of storms, more stable air and drier air moves in and kills all severe weather chances. That's how it always happens as far as dry air. But look at the Cape building in Texas. It's the same thing. But what I want to show you here is the dry line setting up here. This is the supercell composite parameter. So it shows you where supercells are going to develop. So supercells tend to develop right along the dry line, and you can see it on radar beautifully. How they really explode along a line. And this has a chance to happen around the Dallas area, give or take east or west, depending on where you are. Some massive supercells can really develop the parameters all the way up to 12 to 14, range up there to 16. So, and it gets even closer to 20 as you get into this range right here into the corners of Texas, Arkansas, and Louisiana. But you can see where the dry line is right here. And I'm going to show you the dew points too. It's amazing how sharp of a cutoff this goes. But you get through there, and then you look right here. Check out the dew points in Texas. Look at the dew points surge Friday morning into basically the south central U.S. Houston could be pushing dew points near 70. Dallas up into the low to mid 60s. Dew points pretty moist outside. But look at the dry line. Look at it flirting. That's what I'm talking about, the dry line. Look at the sharp cutoff. You got dew points in the 20s, then all of a sudden dew points in the 60s, and a very sharp gradient. So that's how these systems, supercells, can develop right along here. And it's just the differences in the air masses that really gets them going. And so, it's impressive, and then the cold front gets going. And this is what I'm talking about. That squall line gets going right here in Arkansas. And then the cold, more stable air follows behind it. But you look at here, and you look at the supercell composite parameter off the NAM here, and look at it rise here with the Cape. Now, it doesn't show it very high down here, no, But this is going to change. We're going to get into the HRRR model run and range here tomorrow, overnight into tomorrow, and we're really going to see some things change. Now, you look at the tornado parameter, it spikes, obviously, kind of along near Dallas. You have to watch out here. Basically what I think is going to happen with this is you're going to get more severe weather, more into the Texas, western Louisiana, parts of Arkansas area. And then the bad and more dangerous part of this is I think the severe weather, and I think that's a reason why they dropped an enhanced risk in mid-afternoon, because I think this has a chance to get nasty here as we get into the overnight hours into Mississippi, Louisiana, and Mississippi. As you can tell, this is the tornado parameter, and this is OZ Saturday, so this is basically getting into the late evening hours, overnight hours, and then there's an elevated tornado threat to work on up to 4 to 5. So that's why it's dangerous. Is I really think it's going to be an overnight threat more into Dixie and things like that. But I really think a large hail threat is definitely on the table. You look at the bulk shear here, and the low-level jet gets cranking as we get into Friday afternoon. You can tell here as it moves in ahead of the cold front, you got winds at 45 knots up in the upper atmosphere. So you definitely got some shear. I don't think we're gonna necessarily see a bigger tornado outbreak. It's hard to know, but as maybe the last event. But I think this is a more well put together event of a mixture of everything. With the squall line moving in through Arkansas, the very big time large hail threat with this, I really think there is, and then the tornado threat in general. But you go all the way out to 48 hours on the HRRR model, which is as far out as it goes right now on the latest long range, and you can see the cells begin to develop, and you can see the squall line about to take shape in Arkansas. But you see these little, it's going to be hard to see on your screen, but you see these little cells developing right here in Mississippi and Alabama. Those have a chance to be supercells. Supercells are updraft. When you have large hail threat, you have a potential for an updraft, which gives you the potential for some spin in the atmosphere. So it's a big deal, and I think it's going to be even bigger deal tomorrow as we see how much this chance goes up. I'll be up very early in the morning. I'll have a video tomorrow evening, and I'll keep y'all updated if I plan on chasing, because I really think I am. This is an interesting setup. So thank y'all for tuning in, and I'll keep y'all updated. God bless all y'all.